is #1. $5 a point, $795. But hey, folks, we're coming right back on Family Feud. Make sure, everybody, that you follow Family Feud on social media. I'm Steve Harvey, everybody. We'll see you next time, folks.
It's Tuesday, the 3rd of March. Coming up this hour, US President Donald Trump warns a big wave of strikes is still to come as the war with Iran ramps up. The latest on Australians caught up in the conflict. Warnings to brace for impact back home as the RBA reveals what the war could mean for inflation. Also ahead, breaking news in Sydney. Police have opened fire after 2 women are attacked. We're live to the scene. A getaway car torn in two as police in Melbourne hunt for the driver, who somehow managed to flee. And talking with Terry Irwin, our special chat about life, love and loss.
This is 10 News Lunchtime with Angela Bishop.
Good afternoon. US President Donald Trump isn't ruling out ground troops in Iran, warning the big wave of strikes is still to come. The war with Iran is spreading across the Middle East. Lebanon, the latest country to be dragged into the conflict, with Israel launching a barrage of airstrikes on Hezbollah targets in Beirut. Iran, too, coming under intense fire, with the country's president condemning deadly attacks on schools and hospitals. But Iranian forces continue to retaliate, striking back, with the US confirming today another 2 military personnel have been killed. Chris Campy begins our coverage.
American F-15 fighter jets spiralling towards the ground. It's an image that could further inflame a conflict, but these were shot down by friendly fire in the skies over Kuwait, friendly territory to touch down in for the aviators, who all managed to eject safely. The outcome could have been different, and the US President and his Secretary of War repeatedly note.
As the President warned, an effort of this scope will include casualties. War is hell, and always will be.
And where the munitions land, it looks like it. Iran continues to be battered by a barrage of US and Israeli missiles. A police station among the targets reduced to rubble in Tehran. Why are they doing this? Why are they destroying our nation, this woman says. Do you know how these lives can possibly be rebuilt? I swear we struggled for 47 years to build our lives. President Trump lists a number of justifications.
This was our last best chance to strike what we're doing right now and eliminate the intolerable threats posed by this sick and sinister regime. And they are indeed sick and sinister.
The mission of Operation Epic Fury is laser focused. Destroy Iranian offensive missiles, destroy Iranian missile production, destroy their navy and other security infrastructure, and they will never have nuclear weapons.
But Iranian officials claim strikes have hit schools and hospitals, calling the actions heinous crimes of international concern.
The Department of War would be investigating that if that was our strike. Well, clearly the United States would not deliberately target a school.
As members of the US Congress were given classified briefings on the ongoing conflict, whatever they were told didn't convince everyone the strikes months into planning were an act of necessity.
There was no imminent threat to the United States of America by the Iranians.
Look, a whole lot of questions were asked. I found their answers completely and totally insufficient. In fact, at least to me, that briefing raised many more questions than it answered.
What is the end game? What is the end game?
And how long will it take to achieve? While neither question has an easy answer, the US says it will remain locked and loaded for as long as it takes.
We have the strongest and most powerful by far military in the world, and we will easily prevail. We're already substantially ahead of our time projections, but whatever the time is, it's okay, whatever it takes. We projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that.
That means weeks of brutal bombardment across a widening map. Israel is striking Hezbollah targets across the border in Lebanon. Beirut blasted again and again. Residents there fleeing by any open road. We want to live in stability to continue our lives, this man says. We have children, we have babies, we have sons. We want to live. Iran is striking back at any targets related to the US or Israel that they can reach across the Gulf. A drone causing major damage and shutting down one of the world's largest oil refineries in Saudi Arabia, as rockets and drones continue to illuminate the skies above Dubai and the UAE. The US confirming 6 military personnel have now been killed.
In their memory, we continue this mission with ferocious, unyielding resolve to crush the threat this terrorist regime poses to the American people, and a threat indeed it is.
Australian military positions have also been targeted. A long-held airbase and headquarters, Al Minhad, bombed in the UAE.
Look, I won't go into that. I mean, on the first night, there was a strike at the Al Minhad air base, but all the Australians who are there are safe and accounted for. There were no injuries to Australians, and we've got more than 100 personnel actually across the Middle East. Most of them are in the UAE, where we've had an operational headquarters at Al Minhad for many, many years now, but they are all safe and accounted for.
Australian troops in the region are merely watching on, with no role to play in the US-led operation. And their president warns the big wave, or heaviest hitting, could be still to come. Chris Campy, 10 News.
The Reserve Bank governor has warned the war in the Middle East could drive up inflation here at home. Live to Federal Politics reporter Matthew Carstunen at Parliament House. Matt, what has Michelle Bullock had to say?
Good afternoon, Ange. The Reserve Bank boss was delivering a speech in Sydney this morning where she made a blunt assessment warning the war in the Middle East could be felt here. The one major factor, of course, is crude oil, the price of it and its impact on petrol prices. Now, the current average price of petrol here in Australia at the moment is $1.88 per litre. But one expert has told 10 News we should get used to seeing prices sitting above the $2 mark. The flow-on effect, of course, from petrol price rises is rising inflation, which is already too high for the RBA's liking. But that will then eat into household budgets and as a result could drive down spending. But does this mean we'll see another interest rate rise later this month? Well, that still remains to be seen. Meantime, here in Canberra, the Liberals and Nationals have held their joint party room with new leader Angus Taylor taking the government to task over soaring inflation.
It's too early to say what the economic impact will be. Events are moving rapidly and there are different ways that this can play out. We're going to take some time to make sense of what it could mean for inflation here. A supply shock of this nature, for example, could add to inflation pressures, and the potential implications for inflation expectations also are something that we're very alert to.
We were promised by Labor, by this Treasurer, that they had beaten inflation, that they had beaten high interest rates, and the fact of the matter is that inflation and high interest rates have beaten this Treasurer and this government. Yeah.
Expect to see the issue of cost of living a very big sticking point for the opposition when they question the government in question time today. Ange?
Matthew Carstunen in Canberra, thank you. To some breaking news, there have been chaotic scenes on a Sydney street after 2 women were assaulted and a man was shot and killed by police this morning. Live to Zoe Martin at Potts Point. Zoe, what's happened there?
Angela, this is very much a developing situation. As you said, a man has been shot and a critical incident has just been declared by police. Now, as you can see, there's a police tent halfway down the street behind me as detectives scour the area for information. Now, they received the call just before 11 a.m. this morning to Potts Point to report a man entered not one but 2 unit complexes here on the street where he's assaulted 2 women, one in her 40s and one in her 50s, and it's believed to be with a knife. Now, police, of course, arrived where they tried to calm the man down, but They've then used a taser. That was ineffective. They then opened fire. Now, this is the moment a bystander captured the gunshot, or the sound of the gunshot, on camera.
A police SUV fly in, and then 12, 15 police officers run out towards the end of the building. And then we heard, maybe 5 seconds later, we heard a man shouting and a gunshot. So, yeah. And then after the gunshot, maybe 20, 25 more police officers started running down, in vests and stuff.
2 women have been taken to hospital with what is believed to be facial injuries. But as I say, this is very much a developing situation. Police are right now giving an update, and it's understood that the women are not believed to be known to the man. We'll have more details on this unfolding situation in the news tonight at 5.
Thanks, Zoe. An investigation is underway after 2 people were found dead inside a property in southeast of Melbourne. Emergency services were called to a home in Hearns Oak, where the bodies of a man and woman, both in their mid-40s, were discovered just after midday yesterday. Police say the pair were known to each other. At this stage, detectives are not looking for anyone else in connection to the incident. A man is expected to be charged with murder after another was allegedly killed in the Adelaide Hills. One witness told 10 News he saw the alleged victim unconscious in front of his parents' house and went to help. Rebecca Wilson reports.
A man was seen here at Mount Barker unresponsive last night after an alleged altercation broke out just before 10 o'clock. Phone footage shows the alleged victim lying in the boot of a car on Malden Street, another man climbing in as a group of up to 7 people drive away. A CFS trainee says the scene unfolded outside of his parents' house and he went to help after his mum heard yelling and screaming.
They basically just kept repeating, the guy needs to go to the hospital right now, get him in the car. A few lads were trying to get this other bloke into a car, and then I sort of just held him there so he didn't fall out of the car. And then, as soon as they got him in the car, they all sort of jumped in together and took off down the street to the hospital.
Police say the unconscious 39-year-old man had been taken to hospital but died a short time later. Authorities have closed off nearby Patterson Lane as they work to gather evidence and establish a timeline of events. A 25-year-old Paraka man has been arrested and is expected to be charged with murder. Police say no one else is being sought in relation to the death, and this was not a random attack.
Now to some more breaking news, and Queensland police have shot a man in Brisbane. The man has since died. He was allegedly armed with a knife and the police involved are not believed to have been injured. We'll bring you more on that story as soon as it comes into the newsroom. Queensland is on alert as a tropical low threatens widespread heavy to intense rainfall later this week. Let's bring in meteorologist Josh Holt now. And Josh, you've been saying you have concerns surrounding this system.
Good afternoon, Ange. That is correct. All eyes on the North Tropical Sea with our tropical low, which is beginning to gather a little bit of strength. We are seeing a very active phase of the monsoon across the northern part of Australia, illustrated beautifully here on this satellite imagery. You can see the abundance of cloud cover over the northern Coral Sea associated with our tropical low, but also that cloud extending across the northern parts of the territory with the monsoon trough. But let's concentrate on the tropical low because this is what we're watching with interest over the next few days. And I don't want Queenslanders to get caught up in the categories because with this system, it's totally irrelevant. It doesn't matter whether it's a tropical low, ex-tropical cyclone or a cyclone, it can cause just as much heavy to intense rainfall. As you can see there, it is forecast to deepen as we get across the next couple of days. A moderate chance on Wednesday of being a tropical cyclone. But this is what I want to show you. The tropical moisture associated with this system that it's going to pull down from those northern latitudes in and across areas of Queensland, but not only extending across the northeast tropical coast, also further south down around areas of southeast Queensland. Now, I was hurrying about whether I'd show you this graphic. This is the accumulated rainfall over the next 7 days. This is an ensemble model that can underpin the rainfall during some of these weather events, but some of the European forecast modelling is going for the potential of upwards of 300 millimetres across areas of southeast Queensland through the weekend and into early next week. And on a saturated catchment, that could cause widespread riverine flooding flooding and also life-threatening flash floods. So we'll be certainly keeping you up to date on this over the coming days. We are urging everyone in Queensland to make sure they keep themselves up to date with the latest warnings as they come to hand this week. We'll have more on this later in the bulletin.
Thanks very much, Josh. Coming up on 10 News Lunchtime, Melbourne police on the hunt for the driver whose dangerous driving left a car looking like this. And Zach Lomax's ugly breakup with the Eels leaves him in NRL limbo.
There's something growing. It's building in here. You hear those jungle drums? That's the demon. I've got this urge to do terrible things.
Tonight, the dirtiest move takes Survivor to the next level.
That dude's insane.
Dirty Harry came to me with a proposition.
Oh, that's crazy.
No wonder she's frozen stiff. Check out the cost of her car insurance renewals.
Time to melt these rates with award-winning cover.
And get 15% off when you buy online.
Oh, thanks.
Quote with Budget Direct first.
Insurance solved with Budget Direct.
When your dog's healthy on the inside, it shows. Take a closer look. Those eyes. That energy. Purina One helps support their healthy gut microbiome for visible health from the inside out. Purina One.
Get what you really want with Australia's #1 large SUV 2 years in a row. With $3K off the Ford Everest Trend. Available at participating Ford dealers now.
I'm just going for a break.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
Without lifeblood donors, all of this would have gone unheard.
Institutional sexual abuse thrives in the system. Our lawyers know how to help survivors get the compensation they deserve, which could be over $1 million. Arnold, Thomas and Becker. No win, no fee, no fear.
Can't quite describe that emotion? Finally, there's a word for it. And at the Gotcha for Life Mental Fitness Gym, there's a workout for it too. Download the app for free today.
Go on, take the plunge. Find out how adults can improve their reading and writing skills. Call the Reading Writing Hotline. 300-6555. It could change your life.
5 questions away from $1 million. Nobel Prize-winning scientist Enrico Fermi is commonly known as the father of what?
Police are searching for an injured car thief after a high-speed crash in Melbourne's southwest. A stolen Toyota Kluger was broken in half after the driver lost control and smashed into a tree. But incredibly, when police arrived, the driver had fled. Abby Dinham has more.
Just before 1 a.m, a man was carjacked at Laverton train station, southwest of the CBD. But the thief only made it about 3 kilometres down the road to nearby Seabrook before he lost control of the car. The driver appears to mount the curb of a roundabout and skid off the road. It hit a tree next to a footpath, the force of the impact splitting the car in two. Neighbours called emergency services, but when police arrived, the driver was gone. Police, including the K9 unit, scoured the area, searching streets and backyards for hours, but they haven't located the driver. Witnesses say it's incredible the man was able to walk away from a smash that big.
I thought there's no way anyone could have walked out of that car. The way it was it looked like it overturned, but it was until the police shone a light on it.
Police say the speedometer was stuck on 120 kilometres an hour. They say they hold grave concerns for the welfare of the driver, described as a young man. They're asking him to come forward and present himself to police.
NRL star Zach Lomax has been benched from playing in the 2026 season, at least for the Eels, as a deal is reached in his legal stoush with the club. Lomax will not be allowed to play for another NRL club unless the Eels give written permission, a restriction which remains in place until October next year. This comes after Lomax was released from the Eels to join Rugby 360, an international rugby union competition. However, when that start date was postponed, he approached the Storm, going against his contract. This legal battle leaves the Storm without a player and $250,000 in legal costs. Get your motors running. The Formula One Australian Grand Prix at Melbourne's Albert Park is getting ready to roll. Sam Mills is at the track.
Formula One fanatics have been assured it's all systems go for the season opener, despite the conflict in the Middle East. While some team staff are stranded in Europe or Bahrain, the governing body has arranged 3 charter flights to ensure everyone who needs to be in Melbourne for the Grand Prix will be here. But the readiness of some teams to hit the track remains a big question. There's been major reports Aston Martin may only race a couple of laps on Sunday and then withdraw their cars. Drivers Lance Stroll and 2-time world champion Fernando Alonso have struggled with the new Honda engine during pre-season practice. Crews are hard at work making sure the track and corporate areas are up to scratch ahead of what's expected to be another record crowd, topping last year's 465,000 across the 4 days. The gates open to the public on Thursday, with the Formula One cars to hit the track for first practice on Friday.
Stay with us. A check of the day in finance is next.
This weekend, there's non-stop sport on 10.
It's game on! Saturday, can Aussie Oscar Piastri grab pole at the Australian Grand Prix qualifying?
Then 2 massive matches from the A-League men.
That is top quality.
Sunday, who will win the first race of the Formula One season?
It's lights out, we're racing in Melbourne.
Don't miss the UFC prelims.
And the Matildas face Korea Republic in the Women's Asian Cup.
Non-stop live sport this weekend on 10.
Starting a business is the biggest financial decision we've made. We did it for Max, to have more time together as a family. But we also needed to know we'd be financially protected if the worst happened to one of us. So we did something simple. We got real life insurance.
Protect what you value most by calling Real Insurance now and get up to $2 million cover in case you're diagnosed with a terminal illness or pass away.
Call 135 948 or search Real Life Insurance.
Sensitivity is when you feel that short, sharp pain. Sensodyne Repair and Protect has Novomin. It forms strong reparative layer over sensitive teeth. Try Sensodyne. It works. Nobody does sensitivity like Sensodyne.
Get what you really want with Australia's #1 large SUV 2 years in a row. With $3K off the Ford Everest Trend. Available at participating Ford dealers now.
This is an urgent message from the Smith family. More and more people are experiencing poverty, and the impact it's having on children is worrying. I see it every day. Low-income families are amongst the hardest hit, and children's education is at risk. Thousands of children are waiting for sponsors to support their education. Many of these children will be going without the essentials and extra learning support they need. Go online or call to sponsor an Australian child now.
It's not just your hearing. For us, it's your life. At Amplifon, you can access hearing devices at zero cost to you through the Hearing Services program at over 350 clinics. Call 13MyEars.
There's something in the air at Birdseye. Our lightest fish with 50% less oil is air-baked by us for the crispiest crumb. Air-baked fish. An eye for good. Birdseye.
You belong in your element, where your muscles burn, amid the action, where your eyes light up, beyond the boring, where your heart beats fast. You belong on a mission, where you make an impact, in the uniform, where community comes first, with a team, where you achieve more together. You belong in blue. Apply for South Australia Police.
Forgot this?
Love you, Dad.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
New women's health range from Austerlin. Scientifically formulated to support women's different life stages. Because strong looks and feels different for all of us. Find your strong. Austerlin.
Free TV programming and advertising is guided by the Commercial Television Industry Code of Practice. A copy of the code can be found on the Free TV website, or you can write or call us for more information. Free TV, Australian, trusted, free.
Time to roll up and goggle.
I'm really good at getting trolleys in like a trolley bay, so I reckon I'd be good at this.
On the special day, 9 o'clock Wednesday.
Time for a check of the day's finance, and joining me now is Juliet Saleh from Ausbiz. Juliet, the RBA governor has indicated the conflict in the Middle East could mean another rate hike this month.
That is right, and economists had been anticipating that the next time we see a follow-up hike from the one that we saw last month would more likely be May. But of course, what we're seeing in the Middle East now means that there could be a greater impact to global inflation, particularly as we continue to monitor the big surge that we've seen in crude oil prices. Michelle Bullock was speaking at a fireside chat in Sydney today, saying that markets have been fairly orderly in the wake of the conflict, but she has indicated that any further spike to global inflation means that a March rate hike is possible. The governor, though, still awaiting the quarterly inflation print that will come through at the end of April, and the market only pricing in a 24% chance of a quarter point rise this month. Rates, though, fully priced to increase to 4.1% in May and could be at 4.3% by the end of the year, pretty much where we were this time last year. Michelle Bullock also cautioning that if the rise in global energy prices is prolonged, that will weigh on consumer demand and economic growth, and of course continue to put upward pressure on cost of living prices. Ange.
And how are the markets looking today?
We are seeing another big sell-off amidst all this uncertainty caused by what we're seeing in the Middle East, particularly as we continue to monitor the big moves that we've been seeing in commodity prices. The market is down by about 1.4% at lunchtime on the ASX 200. We are also seeing falls coming through in some of those energy players that did well yesterday. Woodside off by about 0.6%. Rio Tinto under pressure too, although it has signed a deal with the Canadian government. And Treasury Wine Estates shares coming under pressure, although we have seen that the French billionaire Olivier Goudet has lifted his stake in the Penfolds owner. Let's have a look at where the Aussie dollar is. No major market economic data out today, but you have seen the Aussie hold up pretty well against the greenback, above 71 US cents, $1.19 against the Kiwi. And of course, it's all about what you're seeing in the commodity market at the moment and what that is going to mean for higher petrol prices for Aussies. Oil at 77 US dollars a barrel after spiking above 80 US dollars. And analysts, Ange, saying that if this conflict is prolonged in the Middle East and the Strait of Hormuz remains closed, oil prices could get above 100 US dollars a barrel.
Juliet Saleh from Ausbiz, thanks for keeping a watch on all that for us. Bill and Hillary Clinton are adamant they knew nothing of the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein in newly released video of their closed-door testimony. The former US President and former State Secretary were questioned by the House Oversight Committee last week as part of investigations into the convicted sex offender. It's the first time a current or former president has been compelled to testify before Congress.
Girls and women whose lives Jeffrey Epstein destroyed deserve not just justice, but healing.
Jeffrey Epstein was a heinous individual, but he's far from alone.
Bill acknowledged flying on Epstein's plane in the early 2000s before he was hit with criminal charges. A young e-bike rider has been caught on camera during a reckless ride on the Gold Coast. They were filmed on a soccer oval at Palm Beach, dragging a shopping trolley across a field at considerable speed. The trolley was then hurled into a soccer goal in front of a number of people. Gold Coast Council has this week begun a trial to ban e-bike and e-scooter riders from two of its most popular parks. The location where this video was filmed is not one of the banned sites. Two koalas have turned a quiet Aussie street into their very own wrestling ring. The furry rivals were spotted tussling on a road in a fiery showdown. Just another wild reminder that even Australia's cutest locals have a bit of attitude. Still ahead today, an exclusive one-on-one with Terry Irwin. Her moving admission about raising kids when you've lost your life partner.
This is healthy food that is full of vibrancy and excitement. You don't want your food to be boring just because it's healthy. So let me give you some incredible recipes that are simple, so healthy and delicious, because good nutrition isn't about what you can't have, it's about what you can have. That is mega flavour.
Jamie Oliver, eat yourself healthy.
Getting the good stuff in your body, that is what it's all about. Come on.
7:30 Friday on 10.
Watch and stream free. It's such a relief to have Serena home and healthy again. It made us stop and appreciate our time together as a family. Thankfully, we did something simple years ago to protect our family financially, even if the worst did happen. We got real life insurance.
Protect your family's financial future by simply calling Real Insurance now. And with the Real Reward, you'll get 10% cash back of the premiums you've paid after your first 12 months. Call 137 069 or search Real Life Insurance.
Go for a rewarding career as a police security officer. Go for the outdoors and the indoors. Go for the love of screen time, airtime, and time with the community. Go for PSO.
At HCF, we offer eligible members health and wellbeing programs, which can be explored through the HCF Healthful app, helping you achieve your health goals at no extra cost.
Nice.
Very impressive.
Just how hard does Boost Mobile work? It goes harder than a robot vacuum in a house of labs, and even harder than Ned Brockman's podiatrist. Yep, with big coverage. Boost Mobile works its ass off.
I'm just going for a break.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
If you can't live without Netflix,
Can't live without Netflix.
then you can't live without the AGL Netflix electricity plan, with Netflix included for the life of your plan.
AGL do that.
Join AGL's Netflix electricity plan today.
When your dog's healthy on the inside, it shows. Take a closer look. Those eyes, that energy. Purina One helps support their healthy gut microbiome for visible health from the inside out. Purina One.
Mitsubishi's 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing now includes 10 years roadside assistance.
Get out!
Drive away Triton GLXR from just $51,340 for ABN holders. Hurry into Mitsubishi today.
There's something in the air at Birdseye. Our lightest fish with 50% less oil is air-baked by us for the crispiest crumb. Air-baked fish. An eye for good. Birdseye.
Hospital can be a scary place for kids. That's why Starlight exists, to bring happiness to seriously ill children. Please donate at starlight.org.au.
Tonight, the dirtiest move takes Survivor to the next level.
Oh, that's crazy.
Welcome back. This next story is a personal one about a shared bond over heartbreak with Terry Irwin. We had an honest discussion about how to be a good parent when you've lost the love of your life.
Haven't tackled that yet, but it's really strange, but every time it crosses my mind.
I can feel Steve's presence when I walk around here, and of course you must too.
You think this guy's dangerous? You should see what I've got in me shed.
Is there a special place you go here, somewhere where you feel close to him?
Have a look at this little beauty.
We used to sit down in the evenings in the kangaroo paddocks, and we would sit down and talk about plans.
G'day, and welcome to Australia Zoo, my home.
Kangaroos coming up to see you, and very, very special. So I feel really lucky to still have that, you know.
It's hard to believe, but this September, it will be 20 years since Steve Irwin died. To the world, he was a fearless crocodile hunter, larger than life, on an endless adventure, and his passing left a croc-sized hole in the universe.
Steve forever will be never older than 44 in any photo.
Sure.
So, just like, you know, here I am, 61, and here's this little spunky guy, you know. It's hard. But yeah, he did that old die young, stay pretty thing.
Yeah. Pete will be forever 53.
53.
Yes. And also spunky.
Too young.
I saw Terry in the crowd. I looked up and our eyes met. And my heart just went bang, 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 bang. It just started thumping. It was love at first sight.
And when you suddenly lose the other half of that partnership and all of a sudden you have to make all those decisions on your own, it's tough sometimes because you're always bounced off that person.
Mm-hmm. When you lose someone, you expect grief.
You do.
That is understandable. You don't expect to be afraid. So all of a sudden you're like, this is really scary.
As mums, our children fill up so much of our lives, and they, at those times, can be incredible good distractions from our grief. But nevertheless, there's a moment that comes at night when we're by ourselves. Does it still happen? Because it still happens to me.
Oh, yeah, and when you least expect it.
Well, isn't that incredible?
Yeah, so
yes.
Sometimes you have to search for something, and it's hard. But we worked at it.
Show them together, 'cause you'll be in my heart always.
This dance is for my mum. It's for all of the mums out there who don't get the recognition they deserve.
What did it feel like to be part of that and that moment on the show? Because it brought we in the audience to tears.
Robert was just 2 years old when we lost Steve. And there's a tendency to think everything you do as a mom is kind of expected but maybe not noticed. And for him to step out and say, wow, you did a really incredible job, and thank you for being there and for keeping everything going. It was very special for me.
When I read the comment sections under the YouTube clip, so many people just wanted to know your secret. How did you manage to raise two such beautiful, kind, well-adjusted on your own? What is Terry Irwin's secret?
Well, you know, because we're both in the same club, and we both, you know, between us we have 3 beautiful kids.
We do.
And I think my discovery is you will always look back and second guess your parenting. But the main thing is to just be there. Just turn up.
A mother who brings up 2 children who win Dancing with the Stars US. Are you sure you weren't quietly giving them dancing lessons around the zoo their whole childhood on the sly?
To be completely honest, Steve and I never even danced at our wedding. There is no dancing in the Irwin gene pool. I do not know where that came from.
Everybody remembers Bindi speaking so beautifully at Steve's memorial service. My daughter Amelia also spoke at her dad's funeral and in fact sang. And she expressed to me early on that that's what she wanted to do. Is that what happened with Bindi? She told you she wanted to do that?
Yeah.
Even though they're so little?
Yeah, she was 8 years old.
My daddy was my hero. He was always there for me when I needed him. He listened to me and taught me so many things.
When Bindi said she just wanted to say something, it was a lot of conversation. Are you sure? And there's going to be a lot of people there, and it was important to her. So I couldn't have done it. So I was very proud of her. But singing, Amelia's amazing.
It was beautiful.
That's incredible.
It was uplifting. Peter was a former motorcycle racer and mechanic. One of the earliest videos I've got of Amelia is on the front of a motorbike with him. How was it? Yeah?
Want to do some more?
Please, sir, come some more. And I saw a picture of Steve and Robert the other day, and I thought, oh my goodness, that's almost the same.
Robert, what's under your mouth?
You've got so much visual material of your family together before you lost Steve. And I read that early on you'd put a DVD on over breakfast with the kids just so that they could hear his voice. And did that help?
Yeah, I think it was very comforting, and it was what Bindi and Robert asked for. I see a lot of people come to the zoo, and I don't know why it's always the mother, but they're taking a family photo and she doesn't want to be in the photo for whatever reason. And I'm like, just do it. Don't worry about it. Just be present and here and part of the picture, because it's so important that you have those photos and videos that will outlive you and be there for your family and friends. So I had a woman write to me this beautiful letter about losing her husband. And she said, grief won't always consume you. Eventually it walks with you, beside you. And she's right.
Yeah.
Not right now.
To say Terry Irwin has thrown herself into her work as a way of coping would be an understatement.
This is little Lily.
Oh,
so she's
Lily.
The hospital, funded by Australia Zoo admissions and donations to the Wildlife Warrior Fund, helps keep Australian wildlife alive.
Last year we treated over 13,000 animals. So in sum total, we've treated over 12,000 koalas. Yeah, he's on an IV. Now let's see, what's his deal? Nixon. Well, you know, I'm pondering whether or not he's a crook. Yeah, so he's
Watergate.
Yeah.
See what I
You're
did there?
good, boom.
And then there's Crocodile Hunter Lodge.
To be in a peaceful, zen atmosphere and yet still feel like you're at home. So it's kind of luxury cabin, but still has a kitchen and, you know, dining table, living room. You kind of feel like you're at home, so.
Apart from the crocodiles outside.
Well, it depends on where you live. It's been exciting and scary and all of the things, because I've never run a lodge or a restaurant.
No.
Like Steve's vision for this was camping. So then I kind of thought glamping, and then I went, you know, here's where I like to stay. I do appreciate that we all have people come up to us and share their loss and their story, and together we are strong.
Can I give you a hug?
Please do. Thank you. Got this. You're doing great, kiddo.
As are you.
Up next, all the day's entertainment news.
Five questions away from $1 million. Nobel Prize-winning scientist Enrico Fermi is commonly known as the father of what? No pressure.
None at all.
Only $1 million in play.
I'm Nat from O'Brien. These cracks all started as chips. Happens a lot. We replace thousands of windscreens, but a chip repair is faster, cheaper and greener. And with car insurance, your repair is usually free. Book today.
Frustrated,
exercise,
embarrassment,
willpower, criticism. What's weighing you down?
Obesity is a chronic disease.
And like any disease, it requires ongoing care and support.
Start the weight conversation with your doctor today.
I'm just going for a break.
To break free. God knows I want to break free. But life still
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
With Aldi's whole fresh chicken now only $3.99 per kilo, it can be Sunday every day. Sundays. Aussie chicken at Aldi prices. Aldi. Good different.
At Spotlight, for 72 hours only, save a mega 30% off store-wide, including Manchester home decor, fabric, sewing, craft, yarn, curtains and blinds. Yes, that's 30% off. Sale on now. Open till 8 p.m. At Spotlight, it's what you make it. Discounts apply to regular product prices. Excludes clearance. See website for details.
You belong in your element, where your muscles burn. Amid the action, where your eyes light up. Beyond the boring, where your heart beats fast. You belong on a mission, where you make an impact. In the uniform, where community comes first. With a team, where you achieve more together. You belong in blue. Apply for South Australia Police.
We build houses which become homes, dreams which become realities. A reputation of flexibility, value and quality across South Australia. We are DeChellis Homes. Discover the DeChellis Homes difference with new house and land packages now available in Kidman Park and Munopara Downs. Visit us online or speak to our friendly sales consultants today. DeChellis Homes, our family, building for your family.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Forester. Built to power you through any adventure. Starting from $48,990 recommended drive-away price. It's you and Subaru for a world discovered.
For 60 years, Colorbond Steel has been made by you, your communities, and your families. But most of all, by this country. That's why you've trusted us to help make your Australian dream. Colorbond, made by Australia.
When your dog's healthy on the inside, it shows. Take a closer look. Those eyes. That energy. Purina One helps support their healthy gut microbiome for visible health from the inside out. Purina One.
It's such a relief to have Serena home and healthy again. It made us stop and appreciate our time together as a family. Thankfully, we did something simple years ago to protect our family financially, even if the worst did happen. We got real life insurance.
Protect your family's financial future by simply calling Real Insurance now. And with the Real Reward, you'll get 10% cash back of the premiums you've paid after your first 12 months. Call 137 069 or search Real Life Insurance.
Welcome to the new era of Formula One. And it all starts here with the Australian Grand Prix. Friday, live on 10.
Time to take a look at the day's entertainment news, and amid the frocks and gongs at yesterday's ACTA Awards, there was some tea spilt. Hollywood stylist and bestie to Zendaya, Laura Roach, was asked when she and fiancé Tom Holland were planning to tie the knot. And it turns out we've already missed out.
The wedding already happened. Y'all missed it.
Well, you know, the other day they said she had on a gold band, and folks were wondering.
The wedding's over. Sorry.
Even when probed, he was scant on details, which shouldn't come as a surprise, as the couple is famously private. Either way, it looks like congratulations might be in order for the apparent newlyweds. We're only days away from Harry Styles' new album dropping, and fans in the UK will get a very special treat. The former One Direction star today announcing a surprise one-off show in Manchester this Friday, performing the album Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally in its entirety. The rest of the world will be able to stream the full concert next week. The new Scream movie, number 7, is slashing its way to a new box office record. It's just had the biggest opening weekend of the franchise, scoring $140 million globally. And now a parody inspired by it is about to land back in cinemas. After a 13-year absence, the billion-dollar Scary Movie series has returned with a whole new set of franchises to spoof.
We back! Hello, Tuesday.
Hey there. We heard tell of a Halloween party. We're here to drink, play bad music.
Scary Movie 6 screams its way back to cinemas this June. What would you do for $28 billion? That's the question that Glenn Powell is answering in his newest film, How to Make a Killing.
Since the day I was born, my mother told me we were different. Yes, she had been disowned by her family, But someday, I would become the sole heir. I just had to wait for all of them to die.
When Beckett Redfellow is diddled out of his multi-billion-dollar inheritance, he decides to fix the problem by pruning a few branches on the family tree.
Wait, who are you?
I'm Beckett.
Well, g'day from Australia. It's very nice to see you all.
Good to see
G'day.
you.
Hey, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi. Excellent work, Topher. Well done. I felt a bit guilty watching this movie because I found myself rooting for a man who does some not very good things.
We've all dated one, you know. It happens.
You've dated a man who does.
I've not
also
dated.
good
I mean,
things.
you never say no. All right. I will just say that's the fun part about John Patton Ford, you know, writing and directing this movie is just, you know, he pulls off an amazing magic trick where, yeah, you do root for a guy who's sort of, you know, you're sort of trained for a guy who's trying to kill his family. It's like, it's obviously like not a noble thing, but you sort of root for the ambition of it.
The film is based on an old comedy classic called Kind Hearts and Coronets, where Alec Guinness famously played 8 roles.
Suppose we drink on it.
But in How to Make a Killing, Glenn Powell is happy to play just the one.
It's fun as hell. It's you know, the morally gray area is a lot more fun than just being, you know, Mr. Nice Guy. You know, like there's it's a fun gear to play, and you know, this cast is just a blast. So we got to show up and play all the time.
What would you even do with $1 billion?
Why do you have a gun on my head?
Jessica, tell us about Ruth. How does she come into the picture and how does she end up interacting with Beckett?
So Ruth is dating one of the Redfellows. Reluctantly, I would say. She has one foot out of the door. Beckett and Ruth just bond over a shared love of David Copperfield. And, you know, it was inevitable after that they would end up together.
Yeah, a little bit of Dickens goes a long way.
Oh man, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Wow, this is why you love Australia. A little Dickens goes a long way. That's honestly
good to hear.
That's
Tover's been throwing that line around for a long time.
Trying to get that one to stick for a long time. Yes.
7 rich pricks. Between myself and $28 billion.
How to Make a Killing opens in cinemas on Thursday. Coming up after the break, a look at the weather with 10 News meteorologist Josh Holt.
There's something growing. It's building in here. Do you hear those jungle drums? That's the demon. I've got this urge to do terrible things.
Tonight, the dirtiest move takes Survivor to the next level.
That dude's insane.
Dirty Harry came to me with a proposition.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's been a busy 4 years for Labor. We added hundreds more beds to our health system, led the world in banning kids from social media. We returned trains and trams to public hands and made our economy stronger. All that in just 4 years? Imagine 4 more. Authorised A. Burke, Australian Labor Party, Adelaide.
Come on, darling, up you up. There's a glass and a half in everyone. Cadbury Hollow Easter eggs in store now.
This is Jenna, the captain. No time for fevers and fuss. Thankfully, Panadol Children now also has a new Tutti Frutti flavour with a smooth formula that is easy to swallow and can start to reduce fever in just 15 minutes. Relief without the fuss. That's one for Panadol.
The perfect cup begins long before that creamy first sip. Because cafe quality taste begins with barista quality milk. How good? So good.
Upgrade your home with Doors Plus March Madness sale. Save on stunning external or sleek internal doors. Even doors for pets. March Madness savings across the range. Plus, we can fit, paint, stain and deliver. Hassle-free from selection to installation. March Madness on now. Doors Plus. No fuss.
The nice thing about the middle of nowhere is it's in the middle of nowhere. Get an Airbnb and go where hotels can't.
A great finish on your deck goes back to the start. And when you start with Spec-Rite Mobile Timber, it comes pre-oiled, ready for a finishing coat, and easy to install for a premium natural look that lasts. Spec-Rite Mobile Timber, the start of a great finish.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Forester, starting from $48,990 recommended drive-away price. Get ready to own the road and conquer the wild. It's you and Subaru for a world discovered.
New women's health range from Austerland, scientifically formulated to support women's different life stages. Because strong looks and feels different for all of us. Find your strong. Austerland.
When your dog's healthy on the inside, it shows. Take a closer look. Those eyes. That energy. Purina One helps support their healthy gut microbiome for visible health from the inside out. Purina One.
Yep, we sure are cut from the same cloth. So it's no wonder I took out life insurance with Australian Seniors. It's a way to financially protect my family in case something happens to me. With Seniors Life Insurance, applying is easy. There's no medicals or blood tests. You're covered for up to $200,000. Plus there's a triple payout for accidental death. With Australian Seniors, life's not just good, it's booming. Get a Seniors Life Insurance quote today. Call 137002 or visit seniors.com.au.
Trying to find somewhere I can sleep for the night.
My phone's about to die and the refuge hasn't called me back yet. I'll be fine.
Time to roll up and goggle.
I'm really good at getting trolleys in like a trolley bay, so I reckon I'd be good at this.
On the special day, 9 o'clock Wednesday.
Making news this Tuesday, US President Donald Trump warns a big wave of strikes in Iran is yet to come as the conflict continues to grip the region. Tit for tat, drones and missiles continue to hit across the Middle East. An airbase used by Australian personnel was struck. However, all are safe and accounted for. A man has been shot and killed by police in Sydney after allegedly assaulting 2 women with a knife. Police were called to Potts Point, where officers say the man threatened them with the weapon before they shot him. And police in Brisbane have also shot a man after being called to the suburb of Tingalpa. Emergency service crews remain at the scene. No officers were injured. We will, of course, have full coverage of those stories and more on your local 10 News at 5. Right now, though, it's time for a check of the weather with 10 News meteorologist Josh Holt. And Josh, very heavy rainfall on the way for Queensland.
Good afternoon, Ange. That is correct. We talked about the possibility of heavy to intense rainfall across areas of Queensland as we get through the back end of this week and then into early next week. Of course, this is all associated with the tropical low, which is gaining strength in the northern Coral Sea. So let's head to the satellite imagery. And as you can see here, we've got extensive cloud cover over the northern part of Australia. So a very active phase of the monsoon currently. As we take a look at the northern Coral Sea, you will see that clump of cloud that is associated with the tropical low, which is forecast to gather strength over the next couple of days. By about tomorrow or Thursday, moderate chance of turning into a tropical cyclone. You can see the clockwise rotation of the tropical low there. But I want to stress this to all the 10 News viewers out there. The category with this system is totally irrelevant. Remember, a tropical low or a Category 1 cyclone can produce just as much rainfall as a Category 5. So when you're talking about the rain associated with these tropical systems, the category is pretty much irrelevant, and that's what we're going to see over the coming days, because have a look at this modelling. Look at the tropical moisture this system pulls down from those northern latitudes in and across areas of Queensland as we get through Friday and then into the weekend. And not only for the northeast tropical coast, where a flood watch has already been issued, it is forecast to also seep a little bit further southward over areas of the central coast, the Whitsundays, also through the Capricornia, Wide Bay, and even through parts of southeast Queensland. Now, as I stressed earlier in the bulletin, this is an ensemble model, so it's not really painting a very accurate picture. We could see much heavier rainfall than 100 millimetres across this region of Queensland. Some of the European forecast models that have come in this morning are indicating the possibility of upwards of 300 millimetres across areas of northern southeast Queensland, across the Wide Bay and parts of the Capricornia. So we'll be watching that with interest over the coming days. In terms of the current conditions, we've still got some very heavy rainfall across New South Wales with severe weather warnings in place opportunities for heavy rainfall overnight. They have since been cancelled, but as you can see, that rain's certainly a feature at the moment with some embedded thunderstorms. On the synoptic pattern, of course, we'll watch the northern Coral Sea tomorrow with that tropical low, and through the northern part of Australia, you can see here some very heavy rainfall again predicted across those northern parts of the country. That rainfall across New South Wales will lighten off tomorrow, but certainly we are expecting that very heavy rain across Queensland over the next week, Ange.
Thanks very much, Josh. That's the latest news for this Tuesday, the 3rd of March. I'm Angela Bishop. Join us for your local 10 News at 5. Until then, have a great afternoon.
To Millionaire Hot Seat. By the end of the night, one of these 6 fabulous contestants could be $1 million richer. So let's